So you can see behind me here, I'm going to show you how to take bearings off and perhaps put them on again if I've got enough time. This is just an industrial press, but don't we worry about them because you can pick them up for next to nothing. 25 years ago I bought this for $400. It was pretty cheap, and it paid for itself time and time again because it's an air over oil system. So you've got a pedal on the floor here, and you can go very slow, fast, and then release. I know it's a bit leaky, there's a leak on the gauge up there, but I'm not really bothered about that. I've got, as you can see, a lot of knick-knacks hanging around here. This set here is just for doing wheel bearings. This is for doing transfer box bearings. I've got various tubes and things like this hanging around here, and as you can see at the back wall, maybe here, there is a manifestation of all sorts of tubes and rings and things like that you've gathered up over the years. That's really handy, and it saves you so much time, so you can go to a job and bing, knock bearings off and push them on again, and push them on square. Now I think you saw this gear in a past video when I was doing about cleaning bearings. Well, how do you get them off? You see, how do you get these bearings off? It's kind of easy really, but I'm not going to reuse that one. A lot of people got excited about that video about doing bearings, but I'm not going to do that one. That is too far gone. When they're nice and shiny, they look like new. Well, they are pretty darn good. And I'm not going to use this gear. I'm going to use this gear. Spot the difference? This has got the holes in this and hasn't. But I'm going to show you this, how I set this up. Kind of easy. You need a bearing splitter. And what we're going to do is put the bearing splitter on there like that. And we're going to pull it on the cage. Sometimes you're tempted to hit them just on the inner race, the inner race, which you should do really. But on a taper roller bearing you can't really do that. But what you can do is, you know, if these bearings are scrap, you can put the bearing pull around here so that the bearing rollers push on this lip here. But you need a lot of contact area, and you'll see in a minute. So if I put this onto here without trapping my fingers, you can see there that that bearing is supported on the cage, but the cage is pushing up to the inner ring. So I'm going to push that off, and I made this is what was that one? That's an output shaft that the splines are a bit knackered, so I've got that, and I use that as a guide tool to push the bearings off because there's not much surface area in here to push against. So let's give it a go. Watch bearings fly out everywhere. Now get it squared up. Oh, it's not long enough for that set. This is another tool that we made at JP's for knocking bearings in and out. Well, you can stack them one on top of another, it doesn't really matter. There you go. How simple was that? Easy, wasn't it? See? Look. Never damaged it, but goes for scrap. That's how I managed to get them on. Now, next thing we've got to do is push them on. The first one we're going to push on is this one. Why? Because then this unbearinged part will sit at the bottom, and then we can put the bearings on here. But because if we did it the other way around, if we put the bearing on here, then we're going to rest on the bearing whilst we're pushing it on. So you have to think about it logically, Captain. As I said before, I've got a variety of tools to push bearings on, and I keep the inner races and the outer races, cut them, and then that will push like that. That'll push that bearing on. Now again, keep the bearings clean and just take them straight out of the box. Now, contrary to popular belief that the bearing is ground to the outer race, it isn't. And that's why you have to put preload on them so they bed in. That's why I'm not too bothered about used bearings, have already been bedded in. And if you look in your workshop manual, it'll say a tolerance for used bearings and a tolerance for new bearings. Let's see. That's better. When the hoses start to bulge, that's when you know you're home and dry. So then we're going to do the same again, and you can see now that that bearing there isn't touching the ground or the deck. I'll put the other one. There we go, that went better. Now, you can probably understand the reason for putting a split in there, because it won't stick to the shaft, and then you have to draw this off, so that saves the thing. So that's that done. Next one.